Teller, thank you very much for your support. The Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage. And also our open
Thank you very much for your support.
Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support. Grays Ag, the Stallion Campdraft final, once again, very, very loyal, long-term supporters, Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage.
So once again, thank you very much.
And also thank you very much for your support.
First. Yep, and that's it. Right up. $1,000 total. Yep. Yep, $1,000 for first. Right up. Yep. No, and that's it. Thank you. Right up. $1,000 total. Again. Yep. Yep. $1,000 for first. Right up. Yep. No, and that's it. Thank you.
So I'd like to welcome Stock Live on board once again. Thanks very much all online to watch our final of our 2026 Campdraft program. Looks like we're ready to get underway. Our judge, Mr. James Moorhead, we're ready to go. So I'd like to welcome Stock Live on board once again. Thanks very much all
First
online
on
to
camp,
watch
we
our
should have
final
competitor
of
number
our,
one, Danny Farley, riding
2026
Chad.
Campdraft program. Came in with a first round score of 85 points. Standing by, we'll have Gemma Beaumont.
We're ready to get underway.
Judge Moscato.
Mr. James Moorhead, we're ready
3
to go.
will be Campbell Martin. 4 will be Cody
So I'd like
Ketsley.
to welcome Stock
5,
Live on board
Brett
once
Meyer.
again. Thanks very
Okay,
much all
first
online
on
to
camp,
watch
we
our
should have
final
competitor
of
number
our,
1, Danny Farley, riding
2026
Chad.
Campdraft program.
Getting down to the
Came in with
business
the
end of the
first round
weekend, a
score of
total of
85 points.
$20,000
We'll
in
have
prize
Gemma
money,
Beaumont
all
ready
up.
to get underway.
These
Judge
guys are running off for a
James Moorhead,
$10,000 first place prize.
4 will be
Cody
So I'd like to,
Ketsley.
welcome
So
Stock
5,
Live on board
Brett
once
Meyer.
again.
We'll do
Thanks
some
very
very
much.
competitive
First on
camp
camp, we should have
drafting.
competitor number 1, Danny Farley, riding Chad. Campdraft program.
Getting down to the
Came in with
business
the
end of the
first round
weekend, a
score of
total of
85 points.
$20,000 in
We'll have
prize
Gemma
money,
Beaumont
all
ready
up.
to get underway. Judge
These
Moscato,
guys are running off for a
James Moorhead,
$10,000 first
Campbell
place
Martin,
prize.
4 will be Cody
So I'd like to,
Ketsley.
welcome
So
Stock
5,
Live on board
Brett
once
Meyer.
again. We'll do some very competitive camp
We should
drafting.
have competitor number 1, Danny Farley, riding Chad. Campdraft program.
Getting down to the
Came in with
business
the
end of the
first round
weekend, a
score of
total of
85 points.
$20,000 in
We'll have
prize
Gemma
money,
Beaumont
all
ready
up.
to get underway. Judge
These
Moscato,
guys are running off for a
James Moorhead,
$10,000 first
Campbell
place
Martin,
prize.
4 will be Cody
So I'd like
Ketsley.
to,
Welcome
So
Stock
5,
Live on board
Brett
once
Meyer.
again.
We'll do
Thanks
some
very
very
much.
luck there,
Competitive
unfortunately,
camp
for
drafting.
Danny Farley on
Danny
Chad.
Farley, riding Chad.
Cut out score there of 22 to go with the first round score of 85 for a 107 total 2-round score. Next on camp, competitor number 2, Gemma Beaumont, Relders Moscato.
There, unfortunately for Danny
This combination come in with a first round score of 80 points.
22 to go with the first round
Standing
score
by,
of
please,
85
Campbell Martin.
for a 107 total 2-round score.
Next on camp, competitor number 2, Gemma Beaumont, Relders Moscato.
There, unfortunately for Danny
This combination come in with a first round score of 80 points.
22 to go with the first round
Standing
score
by,
of
please,
85
Campbell Martin.
for a 107 total 2-round score.
Next on camp, competitor number 2, Gemma Beaumont, Relders Moscato.
There, unfortunately for Danny
This combination come in with a first round score of 80 points.
22 to go with the first round
Standing
score
by,
of
please,
85
Campbell Martin.
for a 107 total 2-round score.
Next on camp, competitor number 2, Gemma Beaumont, Relders Moscato.
There, unfortunately for Danny
This combination come in with a first round score of 80 points.
22 to go with the first round
Standing
score
by,
of
please,
85
Campbell Martin.
for a 107 total 2-round score.
Next on camp, competitor number 2, Gemma Beaumont, Relders Moscato.
There, unfortunately for Danny
This combination come in with a first round score of 80 points.
22 to go with the first round
Standing
score
by,
of
please,
85
Campbell Martin.
for a 107 total 2-round score.
Unfortunately, no luck there for Gemma and Relders Moscato. They'll go away with a 2-round score of 80 points. Standing by, please, Campbell Martin. We'll just clear this beautiful Eagle Hawk Angus heifer out of the yards. We'll move on. Unfortunately,
on
no
camp,
luck
we should
there
have
for Gemma,
Campbell
Martin, and Lindala
Relders
Mighty Mouse
Moscato
coming to us with a first round
They'll
score
go
of
away with a
87
2-round
points.
score of 80 points.
Following Campbell will be competitor number 4, Cody. Clear this Kedgley on Batgirl.
Eagle Hawk Angus heifer out
5
of the
will be
yards.
Brett
We'll move
Meyer,
on.
Ball mixed
Unfortunately,
Prince.
no
6
luck
will be
there
Ben
for
Thompson,
Gemma,
Campbell Martin, 7 Luke
and
Bennett, 8 Greg
Lindala
Clayton,
Mighty Mouse,
and 9 will be
coming to us
Anna
with a
Hoy,
first round score of
riding
87 points.
SCH Smart Times. Following Campbell will be competitor number 4, Cody. Clear this Kedgley on Batgirl.
Eagle Hawk Angus heifer out
5
of the
will be
yards.
Brett
We'll move
Meyer,
on.
Ball mixed
Unfortunately,
Prince.
no
6
luck
will be
there
Ben
for
Thompson,
Gemma,
Campbell Martin, 7 Luke
and
Bennett, 8 Unfortunately there for Campbell. Couldn't add to his first round score of 87 points. Next on camp in our Tuller Infinity Draft, compared to 4 Cody Kedsley, Batgirl, coming in with a 79. Once again, unfortunately, no luck outside there for Cody and Batgirl. Goes through with a 2-round score of 79. Sorry. Apologies there. Total score of 100. In camp, competitor 5, Brett Meyer, Bournemouth Prince. Combination coming in with an 81-point first round score. Standing by, please, Ben Thompson, Rodlaw Fantail. Well, look here, ladies and gentlemen. Brett's got this beautiful Eagle Hawk Angus heifer, and we're going to put her right through the middle. Scores there for a 20, cut out 60 for horsework, 4 for the course for an 84. Gives Brett Meyer a total and Bournemouth Prince of 164 points, putting them firmly in the lead. Next on camp, Ben Thompson. Rodlaw Fantail coming in with a 76 first round score. And he's going to do it again, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Thompson and Fantail. Scores there of a 21, cut out 63 horsework and a 4 for the course. Scores there of 88 to go with a 76, and equal first placing of 164 for Ben Thompson and Rodlaw Fantail. Brewan Rockstar coming to us with an 84-point first round. Look outside there for Luke and Rockstar. A 15 for cutout to go with an 84. Gives a total score 2 round of 99 points. We're just checking these scores here. We have Brett Meyer at sitting on 165, and Ben Thompson sitting on 164. Competitor number 8, Greg Clayton on Henry on Camp, coming in with a first round score of 80 points. Followed by a final competitor in the Infinity Final, Anna Hoy. Out score only there for Greg Clayton and Henry of 15 to go with the first round of 80 to give a 2-round total of 99 points. Sorry, 95 points. Final competitor, Anna Hoy, CSH Smart Times, coming in with a 73. For Anna, and Smart Times, a cutout score of 22 to go with a 73 for a 95. 2-round score. Well, congratulations to all competitors in our Tullantalla Infinity. In first place, we have Brett Meyer, Bulmer's Prince, with 165. Closely followed by Ben Thompson, Rodlaw Fantail, with only 1 point behind, 164. In third place, Denny Farley with Chad, 107 points. In fourth place, we have Cody Kedgley, Batgirl, with 100 points. And in fifth place, Luke Bennett, Brewon Rockstar, with 99. Congratulations to all competitors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on with our program. We're now moving on to the Alpha, the Epic Alpha Draft. Competitor number 1 will be Clancy Pryor with Blush. Competitor 2, Lillian Meredith Roulette. 3 will be Toby Bruce, Miss Beijing. 4 will be Clayton Titmus, GW Mozzie. 5, Jack Rose, Kydra's Harmonia. 6, William Ellum, Shameless No More. 7, Annabelle Dalzell, Westlake Winston. Number 8 will be Jimmy Matheson, Carolot Conscience. to go. On camp, we should have competitor number 1, Clancy Pryor with Blush. Standing at the gate, please, Lillian Meredith, Roulette. Competitor 3 then will be Toby Bruce, Miss Beijing. Also, big thank you to Baja Grazing, supplying the cattle here for these final drafts. Ladies and gentlemen out there, just for the competitors to qualify for the Alpha, they're under 25 years of age from the first round of the Open. So we should have 17 competitors in this draft. Just a quick note to all the competitors in these camp drafts on our final afternoon. All place getters, please stay mounted because we'll be doing the presentations in order after these drafts are completed. We have a camp score only there for Clancy Pryor and Blush of 16. And just to remind everybody, this is a shootout. There's only one score. This is a one score wins all, so there's no points carrying forward out of the Open. This is a shootout draft. Competitor 2 now should be on camp, Lillian Meredith at Roulette. Standing by, please, Toby Bruce, Miss Beijing, followed by Clayton Titmus, GW Mozzie. Have a go here, ladies and gentlemen. Lillian Meredith and Roulette putting a beautiful Baja Grazing heifer round. Scores coming through, 20 for cutout, 64 for horsework and a 4 for the course. Putting a score up of 88 points. It'll give everyone something to chase. Well done, Lillian. Next competitor on camp, Toby Bruce, Miss Beijing. Oh, bad luck there for Toby. He was on the verge of a very, very good round, but we'll go out there with a score only of 21 for Toby Bruce and Miss Beijing. On camp next, we should have Clayton Titmus, GW Mozzie. Standing by, please, Jack Rose, Kydra's Harmonia, William Ellum, Shameless No More. 7 will be Annabelle Delzell. Oh, no luck there at the final bell there for Clayton. We will have scores coming through, though, of 16 for cutout, 57 horse work and 3 for the course. For a 76 total, that'll put Clayton into second place at this stage. On camp, Jack Rose, Kydra's Harmonia. We almost got there, Jack. Scores coming through a 15 for cutout, 57 horse work, 3 for the course. For a score of 75, will put you into third placing at this stage. Still chasing an 88 from Lillian Meredith and Roulette. Big thank you to Baha Grazing once again for supplying these beautiful Angus heifers for this afternoon's drafting. Tough little heifer there for William and Shameless No More. Cut out score only of 19 points. Next on camp in the Alpha shootout will be Annabelle Dalzell with Westlake Winston. Standing by, please, Jimmy Matheson, Carolot Conscience. 10 will be Toby Bruce with Brass. 11, Clayton Titmus. 12, Tom Denson. 13, George Matheson. And 14 will be Tom Hancock. No further luck there for Annabelle with Westlake Winston cutout score of 15. Next on camp, Jimmy Matheson, Carolot Conscience. At the gate, please, Toby Bruce with Brass, followed by Clayton Titmus, Roy Destin. A tough little heifer on there in the first peg for Jimmy with Carolot Conscience. Cutout score there of 20 points. On camp, competitor 10, Toby Bruce with Brass, followed by Clayton Titmus. Roy Destin, 12 will be Tom Denson, Hazelwood, Mike Conacre. 13, George Matheson, 14, Tom Hancock, and 15 will be William Ellam on Able. Score there of 20 for Toby Bruce with Brass. Competitor 11, Clayton Titmus with Roy Destin, should be on camp now with Tom Denson standing by, Hazelwood, Mike Conacre. That's time. Score there for Clayton and of 16 for cutout, 56 horsework and 3 for the course. It's a total of 75 points. And camp competitor 12, Tom Denson, Hazelwood, Mike Conacre. 13 will be George Matheson, Erindale Adele. 14, Tom Hancock with Gypsy. 15, William Ellam. 17, Clayton Titmus. Putting your hands together here, ladies and gentlemen, for Tom and Hazelwood Mike Conacher. Scores coming through a 19 for cutout, 62 for horsework and 4 for the course. That's an 85-point score. That will put Tom and Mike Conacher at this stage up into second position. We're still chasing Lillian Meredith and Roulette on an 88. On camp, George Matheson, Erindale Adele. One there for George. Cut out score there of 14 for Adele. Next on camp, competitor 14, Tom Hancock with Gypsy. At the gate, please, William Allen with Abel. And 17 will be Clayton Titmus once again, Laruna Goodrum. Oh, tough luck there for Tommy and Gypsy. Cut out score there of 20 points. Very humbling sport, this one. Next on camp will be William Allen with Abel. Following William, competitor 17, Clayton Titmus, Laruna Goodrum. 18 will be Toby Bruce with Scout. And our final competitor, 19, Jimmy Matheson with Hector. Score there of 20 for William Allen with Abel. We're winding down our Alpha Young Guns shootout here with 17 will be Clayton Titmus on camp now with Laruna Goodrum. Toby Bruce and Scout, and our final competitor will be Jimmy Matheson riding Hector. Leighton's not going to let it go lightly. Well done. Scores coming through of 21, 62 and 4. That's an 87-point score. Puts him up into second position. On camp now, our second last competitor, Toby Bruce with Scout. For Toby Bruce and Scout. Score there of 21 for cutout, 54 for horsework and 3 for the course. A total of 78 points. Now our final competitor, compared to 19, Jimmy Matheson Hector in the Alpha Shootout. No luck there for Jimmy outside. A score there of 21 points for Jimmy Matheson and Hector. We will just confirm some tallies here.
Circle L first got started 15 years ago as a mobile shop. We used to travel the whole country doing Campdrafts and radios, making hats, selling hats and saddles, and trying to grow the business to a point where we could eventually open the stores up. Unfortunately, COVID started and we had to pull the truck up, and it sort of forced us into opening these shops up a bit earlier than what we wanted to, and from there just sort of grew and grew. G'day, I'm Clayton.
And I'm Hayley.
And currently we are in the Circle L Toowoomba store. Probably 60% of what the business is now is making custom hats for people, and really good seeing people come into the store and get a custom hat fitted to them, seeing their reaction to it, seeing them walk out the door with something that they really love instead of just grabbing something off the shelf that is a stock standard hat that anyone sells. They come into a Circle L store and grab a hat, that fully customised hat. Epic is one of the big events we get behind every year, along with
Luna Goodrum. And in third place, Tom Denson, Hazelwood, Mike Conager with an 85. Congratulations to all our competitors in the 2026 Alpha.
Thank you, Russell. We'll be moving on now with the round 3 of our stallion draft. We have our judge, Mr. Rick Swan, here with us, ready to go.
In the camp, we should have competitor 1, Emily Beddington. She's aboard Hardcore Henry. She'll be followed by 2, David Gillett with Icon. 3, Zeb Pearce with Brother Tough Wood. 4, Abe Graham, Stars Go Blue. 5, Stephen Blackadder with Blackadder Little Eagle. 6, Luke Bennett with Malungra's Moonbeam. 7, Ben Newbury, Coolum Quartz. 8, James Moorhead with Metallic Cadillac. 9, Hugh Miles with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. And 10 will be Bevan Wood with Branchvale I'm Scrap Metal. They are our first 10 competitors in this round 3 of our Stallion Camp Draft here this weekend. Well done, Emily. A full round score to come to hand shortly. Core Henry was 21 points for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 for the course. Gives her a total round 3 score of 86 and an overall aggregate of 122. In the camp now with 2, David Gillett and Icon. They look to add to their grand total of 99 points. Please stand by. 3, Zeb Pearce with Brother Toughwood. Out on course now, we watch our second competitor, David Gillett, with Icon as they make their way back around for a full course here this afternoon. We'll have a score to hand there for you shortly, Dave. There for David with Icon was 21 points for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total of 86 and an overall of 185. In the camp now with 3, Zeb Pearce. He's aboard Brother Tough Wood. They look to add to their score of 107. He'll be followed by 4, Abe Graham with Stars Go Blues. Please stand by. Zeb goes out with a score of 22 points for cutout only. In the camp now with 4, Abe Graham aboard Stars Go Blue. He'll be followed by 5, Stephen Blackadder, 6, Luke Bennett, 7, Ben Newbury, 8, James Moorhead, 9, Hugh Miles, 10, Bevan Wood, 11, Chris Bagnall, and 12, Rachel McMore. It's time. Well, there for Abe with Stars Go Blue is 16 points for cutout, 55 for horsework, 3 for the course. Total of 74 points in round 3 here this afternoon. In the camp now with 5, Stephen Blackadder. He is aboard Blackadder Little Eagle. They look to add to their aggregate score of 98 points. 185 is what we currently chase. Hard luck there for Stephen. Goes out with a score of 14 points, bringing his aggregate up to 112. In the camp now with local competitor Luke Bennett. He's aboard Malungra Moonbeam. He'll be followed by 7, Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz. Please stand by. Hard luck there for Luke and Moonbeam. But we turn our attention now to competitor number 7, Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz. They come in with one of the high scores currently of 175. We're looking to add to that here this afternoon. Of course, this duo won this stallion draft here a couple of years ago at the Epic. Let's see if they can do it again. This is Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz. Out of 4 points complete as they make the change to come back around towards the gate. This is Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz. Well done. Straight through the middle for a 4-pointer. Well done, Ben. Score there for Ben with Coolum Quartz was 20 points for cutout, 59 for horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total of 83 and an overall aggregate of 258. To put them up into the lead at the moment, that's what you'll chase in this third round of the Stallion Camp Draft here this evening. In the camp now, we watch competitor number 8, James Moorhead with Metallic Cadillac. Following James, we'll have Hugh Miles on camp with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. Through the middle, well done. For James, Beth Metallic Cadillac was 20 points for cutout, 60 for horsework, 4 for the course. A total of 84 points for the third round and an overall total of 194. That'll put them up into second place here this afternoon. Another one of our high-scoring competitors coming to this third round is Hugh Miles aboard Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. They look to add to their aggregate of 163. Hard luck there for Hugh. Goes out with a camp score of 22 points only and an overall score of 185. On camp, we have 10, Bevan Wood. Aboard Branchvale, I'm Scrap Metal. He'll be followed by 11, Chris Bagnall with Rebound Wingman. 12, Rachel McMahon, Brown Highwayman. 13, Tim Webster with Double H, What a Classic. 14, Drew Stevenson, Al Capone. And 15 will be Campbell Martin with Drayton Sicaro. Reminder to everyone on the grounds that as you watch this afternoon, we have a number of trade stalls and food vans here open. We encourage you to get in and get some dinner early. A lot of these people will be closing early here this evening. A lot of our food vendors, particularly the pizza van, who's advised they'll be closing at 8 p.m. So if anyone's in the market for a pizza, make sure you get in before 8 p.m. There are 15 points only for Bevan with Scrap Metal. Chris will go out with a camp score of 20 points. 20 points only there for Chris Bagnall and Rebound Wingman. In the camp now, we should have 12. Rachel McMahon with Brown Highwayman. They look to add to their score of 102. Following Rachel, we'll have 13. Tim Webster with Double H Water Classic. There for Rachel, goes out with a camp score of 21 points only. On course now, we're watching 13. Tim Webster with Double H Water Classic. Looking to add to a camp score of 22 points. Let's see what they can do. Oh, just a bit of hard luck there around the top side of the peg. Webster with Double H Water Classic was 22 points for cutout, 57 for horsework, 3 for the course, a total round score of 82 and an overall of 119. In the camp now, we watch 14. Drew Stevenson aboard Al Capone. Righto, on camp now we should have competitor 15, Campbell Martin with Drayton Sicario. 16 not with us, 17 will be Sally Stevenson with Fancy Tassa. 18 Cody Law with Trinity Oglio. 19 and 20 not with us, 21 will be Ben Newbury with Yarrawa Noon Rider. 22 Mitchell Hoy with Saltwater, 5 Metallic Acres. 23 will be Hugh Miles with Araguani, and 24 not with us. So they'll be our final competitors here in round 3 of the Stallion Draft this evening. Pace on as they make the change to come around towards the gate. This is Campbell Martin. Looking pretty good. Well done, Campbell. There for Campbell was 18 points for cutout, 63 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 85 and an overall score of 183. On camp now, we watch competitor 17, Sally Stevenson, aboard Fancy Tassa. Of course, a big thank you to Sally and her husband Drew. They are wonderful sponsors of our Benalla Gelding incentive, which will be actually the next draft that we will run at the completion of this Stallion Camp draft here this evening. We ask those 10 competitors that are entered in that gelding incentive to please be ready at the completion of this Stallion draft. On course now, we watch Sally Stevenson with Fancy Tassa. They leave nothing to chance as they come to make their way back around towards the gate. Bit of a tricky Angus heifer, but she's done the job. Well done, Sally. Score there for Sally was 21 points for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 for the course, gives her a total round score of 86 and an overall of 193. In the camp now with 18 Cody Law, 19 and 20 not with us, so 21 Ben Newbury with Yarrawa Noon Rider, please stand by. Hard luck there for Cody. Goes out with a camp score of 16 points. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together there for Ben Newbury with Yarra Wanoon Rider. We'll have a score to hand there for you shortly. Well, there for Ben was 19 points for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total round score of 84 and an overall total of 179. In the camp now with Mitchell Hoy. He's aboard Saltwater 5 Metallic Acres. Mitchell go out with a camp score of 22 points only. In the camp now with our final competitor, number 23, Hugh Miles and Araguani. They come in with a overall score of 166. Of course, now we watch Hugh Miles with Araguani as they make their way back around towards the gate. Oh, get ready to warm your hands up, ladies and gentlemen. What a good run. The hand there for Hugh was 21 points for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total round score of 87 and an overall of 253. So as it stands, ladies and gentlemen, our winners and place getters of the Stallion Draft here this weekend. In first place, Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz, a score of 258. In second place with a score of 253, Hugh Miles and Araguani. In third place with a score of 193, Sally Stevenson with Fancy Tassa. 4, James Moorhead with Metallic Cadillac on a score of 188. And fifth was Hugh Miles with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. That is our winner and place getters of the 2026 Stallion Draft here at the Epic. We do ask that you all please stay mounted or please stay close by. We will be doing those presentations at the completion of our open camp draft, which will be the last camp draft on the program here this evening. All right, so when the arena is clear, we'll be moving on with our next event on the program, which will be the Benalla Stud Gelding Incentive. Our competitors for that we will require will be 1, Greg Claydon with Henry, 2, Luke Bennett with Brenwan Rockstar, 3, Brett Meyer with Bulmer's Prince, 4, Brock Hamilton with Retreat Encouraging, 5, Ben Thompson, Acres of Metal, 6, Jonathan McDonald with McDonald's Bart, 7, Denny Farley with Chad, 8, Curtis Cherry with AMAC Little Talks, 9, Laurie Argue with Deacon's Whiskey Sour, and 10 will be Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail. They will be our 10 competitors here in the Gelding Incentive Draft this evening. Right, so we're ready to get underway with our next event on the program here this evening, the Benalla Stud Gelding Incentive. And on camp now we have our first competitor, Greg Claydon, aboard Henry. And Greg will go out with a camp score of 21 points only. In the camp now with competitor number 2, Luke Bennett. He's aboard Brenwan Rockstar. be followed by 3 Brett Meyer with Bulmer's Prince. Please stand by. We'd just like to also add to the winner and place getters of the Stallion Draft. The winner of the cutout was Zeb Pearce with Brother Tough Wood. So Zeb will also require you for that presentation later on this evening. Very, very big thank you to all of our sponsors, big and small, here this weekend, many of which are on the ground here this afternoon. It's great to have them with us. We thank, just to name a few, Grayzag, Taylor's Transport, Morrow Made Saddles, the Owen family from Tulla Beef, and of course Rick Swan and his team, who are a great help to us throughout the weekend. New England Toyota, Verback Animal Health, the Matheson family from Beef Trans, Circle L, of course Impulse Print, Benalla Stud, Stock Live, a big thank you to the Stock Live team who have been here live streaming the event this weekend and of course provided the online bidding platform as well. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. Bit of hard luck there for Luke, goes out with a no score. When the camp's clear, we'll look for 3, Brett Meyer with Bulmer's Prince. And of course, now we're watching the winner of our Infinity Campdraft here from earlier this evening. And looks like they're going to put one around for another full round score. Well done to Brett Meyer and Bulmer's Prince. Score there for Brett with Bulmer's Prince was 20 points for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 for the course. He's a total of 85. That's what you'll chase here this afternoon. Of course, now we watch competitor number 4, Brock Hamilton, with Recruit Encouraging. He'll be followed by 5, Ben Thompson to the camp, please. with Retreat Encouraging was 20 points for Cutout, 55 for Horsework, 3 for the course. A total of 78. On Camp Now, we watch a competitor who's enjoyed plenty of success at the Epic over the years. This is Ben Thompson with Acres of Metal. He'll be followed by 6, John McDonald with McDonald's Bart. Please stand by. Out on course now, we're watching our 5th competitor, Ben Thompson, aboard Acres of Metal. They look to add to their cutout score at 21 points. Things are looking pretty good here. Straight through the gate for a 4-pointer. You won't see much better than that here at the Epic for Glen Innes 2026. Well, we've found a new leader. Score there for Ben was 21 points for cutout, 64 for Horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total of 89. 89 is what you'll chase here for our final 5 competitors in the Benalla Stud Gelding Incentive. Big thank you to Drew and Sally Stevenson and their family for all of their support. They give the Epic team year in and year out through the sponsorship of the Benalla Stud Gelding Incentive. Of sponsors, a big thank you to Farrakabad Angus Stud as well for not only being a sponsor here this weekend, but of course to Brett Craft for presiding over this camp draft here this evening to us. A big thank you, Brett. But hard luck there for John. Goes out with a camp score of 19 points. Camp Now, we have competitor number 7, Denny Farley. He's aboard the gelding and calls Chad. He'll be followed by 8, Curtis Cherry with AMAC Little Talks. Making their way around the second peg, looking to make the change back around towards the gate. This is Denny Farley with Chad, and things are looking pretty good here, ladies and gentlemen. Another neat run in our gelding incentive here this afternoon. Score there for Denny Farley was 20 points for cutout, 64 for Horsework, 4 for the course. Gives him a total of 88. 88 will slide him up into second place there for the moment. On camp now, we have competitor number 8, Curtis Cherry. He's aboard AMAC Little Talks. He'll be followed by 9, Laurie Argue with Deacon's Whiskey Sour. Our final competitor will be 10, Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail. The hard luck there for Curtis. Goes out with a camp score of 22 points. So our second last competitor on camp here is Laurie Argue aboard Deacon's Whiskey Sour. Will be followed by our final competitor 10, Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail. The completion of this draft will move straight on to the final round of our open camp draft. Those competitors that we will require to get underway will be 1, Miles Waghorn with Oscar, 2, Tom Donnelly with Just Brown, 3, Luke Bennett with Heathfield Tarn, 4, Ben Thompson with Conserina, 5, Denny Farley with Coachman, 6, Hugh Miles with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker, 7, David Gillett with Icon, 8, Clayton Titmus, Laruna Goodrum, 9, Laurie Argue with Flash, and 10, Zeb Pearce with Super Tough Kitty. If we could have you guys ready to go as soon as possible, that'd be great. We're just trying to beat the sun. A bit of hard luck there for Laurie. He goes out with a camp score of 21 points. In camp now we have our current leader, Mr. Ben Thompson. Kenny Trump, his score of 89 points from his earlier run here this afternoon. Out on course, we're not watching Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail, and things are looking pretty good as they come back around straight through the gate. Well done. If we could just get our turn back riders just to lock those cattle away over there, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're just moving on to a new mob of cattle for our final round of the open draft. So if we could just lock those cattle up over the back there would be great. Thank you very much to our judge, Mr. Brett Craft, doing a wonderful job here this afternoon presiding over our gelding incentive draft. Congratulations to our winner, Ben Thompson, on 89 points with Acres of Metal. Congratulations to the second place, Denny Farley, with 88 points on Chad. Third was Ben Thompson, once again with Rodlaw Fantail. So those three guys will require you for that presentation there at the conclusion of the evening this afternoon. We'll be moving straight on to our final round of the open camp draft here. First competitor we would do require is Miles Waghorn with Oscar.
Someone's in a good mood.
When the dung beetles are happy, I'm happy.
Could you be happy somewhere else? Switch to Sidectin Platinum, the next generation dual active pour-on.
Well, sounds like we're right to go with our first competitor here, Miles Waghorn and Oscar, in this final round of the Open Camp Draft this afternoon. He'll be followed by 2 Tom Donnelly with Just Brown, 3 Luke Bennett with Heathfield Tarn, 4 Ben Thompson, Conserina, 5 Danny Farley with Coachman, 6 Hugh Miles with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker, 7 David Gillett with Icon, 8 Clayton Titmus, Laruna Goodrum, 9 Laurie Argue Flash, and 10 will be Zeb Pearce with Super Tough Kitty. This particular horse and rider combination that we watched, they look to add to their aggregate score of 187 coming into this final round. Out on course, we're watching Miles Waghorn and Oscar as they make their way around the second peg, getting right up on the shoulder. Just trying to redirect this Angus steer back around. Gives him a bit of room to run along. Oh, should have never doubted him. Well done, Miles. Making it look easy in the final round of our Open this afternoon. Oscar was 16 points for cutout, 59 for horsework, 4 for the course. A total round score of 79 and overall of 246. Hard luck there for Tom Donnelly. Goes out with a camp score of 18 points. On course now, we're watching Luke Bennett and Heathfield Tarn as they make their way around the second peg. A couple of pretty neat pegs here so far. Looking to come around and complete the course straight through the middle of the gate. That's how it's done. Luke and Heathfield Tarn was 20 points for cutout. 64 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 88 and an overall of 259. Fortunately there for Ben Thompson, and Concerina goes out with a no score. In the camp now, competitor number 5, Denny Farley with Coachman. They looked at their current total of 169. Camp now, we have Denny Farley with Coachman. He'll be followed by 6, Hugh Miles with Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. Please stand by. 7, David Gillett with Icon. 8, Clayton Titmus, Laruna Goodrum. 9, Lauriagi with Flash. 10, Zeb Pierce, Super Tough Kitty. 11, Dan Coulton with CKJ Marco. 12, James Moorhead, Style and Blues. 13, Brett Ellen Bow. And 14, with Ben Thompson with Homegirl. Out on course now, we watch Denny Farley with Coachman, leaving nothing to chance out on the course. Score there for Denny with Coachman was 15 points for cutout, 64 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total of 81 points and an overall of 250. That'll put him up into second place currently. We chase 259 Luke Bennett with Heathfield Tarn on 259 points. So that's what you chase here this afternoon in this final round of the Open Camp Draft. And a man who'll be doing every bit of that going out on course now is Hugh Miles aboard Wallinga Park Smooth Talker. They come into this final round with an overall total of 177. Make it look like pretty light work around that first peg. It's the second completed and makes the change around to come around for the gate. Straight through the middle, that's how it's done, everyone. Well, score there for Hugh Miles with Willinga Park Smooth Talker. 23 points for Cutout, 61 for Horsework, 4 for the course. Total of 88. 88 there with a grand total of 265. So they'll be our new leaders. 265 is what you chase. In the camp now, David Gillett with Icon. Make the way out on the dance floor to add to their overall total of 174. About a 4 for the course. He's got a cheer squad out here too. Oh, nicely done. For David with Icon was 21 points for Cutout, 62 for Horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 87 and an overall of 261. That will put him up into second place currently as we stand here. Our eighth competitor in the camp now, this is Clayton Titmus, down from Gracemere with us here this weekend. He's aboard Laruna Goodrum. They come into this final round with an overall total of 176. Just take it a bit wide around the first peg, but look to get that corrected back around towards the second. Bit of hard luck there, goes out with a camp score of 16 points only. The camp now with Kempsey competitor. This is number 9, Laurie Argue aboard Flash. He'll be followed by 10, Zeb Pierce with Super Tough Kitty. Please stand by. Laurie and Flash make the way outside to add to their overall score of 168. Things are looking pretty good here again as they complete the second peg and make the change to come around towards the gate. Could be another 4-round score on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, just a bit of tough luck there for Laurie. And Flash was 21 points for Cutout, 55 for Horsework, 3 for the course. Total round score of 79 and an overall total of 247. Calling for the gate now, we have competitor number 10, Zeb Pierce with Super Tough Kitty. They come into this final round as the leader here this weekend. Pretty nice first peg, just taking the long way around the second, but he's got things back under control as he wraps his way back around the second peg here. Got plenty of encouragement from down here at the camp yard. He's made the change and things are looking pretty good. Score there for Zeb Pearce with Super Tough Kitty was 22 points for cutout, 59 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 85 and an overall of 263. That'll slide him up into second place there for the moment, I reckon, behind Hugh Miles with Willingham Park Smooth Talker. If we have anyone on horses that could please come out and assist with arena cleaning, that'd be wonderful. If we could please have a few arena cleaners, that'd be greatly appreciated. Just to get us through the final of this Open Camp Draft. 26 competitors we need to get through, and the 11th is on the camp now. This is Dan Coulton with CKJ Marco, as they look to add to their overall score of 171 points currently. Head outside with a 16 points for cutout. Really tighten it up as they come around the first peg. Nice change around towards the second. The gate in their sights. Moves on up and straight through. Well done. Score there for Dan with CKJ Marco with 16 points for cutout, 58 for horsework, 4 for the course. A total round score of 78 and an overall of 249. Once again, a request that if anyone's on horseback with time to spare, if you could please make your way out and assist with the arena cleaning. Being outside now, this is James Moorhead aboard Style and Blues. They look to add to their overall total of 174. You had to teach that steer a few manners around the first peg. Comes back around towards the second. But covered makes the way back around towards the gate. Can they do it? The pace is on. Oh. Blues was 21 points for cutout, 56 for horsework, 3 for the course. Total round score of 80 and an overall of 254. On camp now we have 13, Brett Ellum with Bow. They look to add to their current 171 points. They'll be followed by 14, Ben Thompson with Homegirl, 15, Jackson Noon with Basalt Henny Penny, 16, Denny Farley, Drama Queen, 17, Cody Law with Yarrow Escort, 18, Toby Bruce and Scout, 19, Campbell Martin, Drayton Sicario, and 20 will be Jonathan McDonald with Sunny Mia Vendetta. Hard luck there for Brett. Goes out with a camp score of 21 points. All right, we turn our attention back to the camp yard here with a horse and rider combination that could really have an electric run on our hands here. This is 14 Ben Thompson with Home Girl. They look to add to their overall total of 169. It's right up front here. Unfortunately there for Ben, goes out with a camp score of 18 points only. Effort just not wanting to play the game. They go out with an overall score of 187. In the camp now with Jack O'Noon. He's aboard Basalt Henny Penny. They come into this final round with a total of 170. 265 is what we chase here this afternoon. Once again, a very big thank you to all of our sponsors here this weekend, some of which are Grey's Ag, Taylor's Transport, Borrowmaid Saddles, the Owen family from Tulla Beef, Rick Swan and his team, New England Toyota, Verback Animal Health, the Matheson family from Beef Trans, Circle L, Northern Tablelands Earth Moving, Stock Live, Benalla Park Stock Horses. We've also got Impulse Print, Kent Saddlery, AAM Agribusiness. Thank you very much to all of those businesses for your support of the Epic year in and year out. We're out on course now with Jack O'Noon aboard Basalt Henny Penny. Unfortunately, the second peg's as far as we'll get there and go out with a camp score of 22 points only. Back on camp now with Denny Farley. He's aboard Drama Queen this time. They come into this final round with a pretty healthy 171 points. Tidy first peg, a lot of pace as they make the change to come around back towards the second. 2 out of 4 as they make the change back around towards the gate. There's plenty of pace on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Denny Farley and Drama Queen out on course now. So make their way back around towards the gate, straight through the middle. Well done, Denny. Well, there for Denny Farley and Drama Queen was 21 points for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 87 and an overall of 258. Calling for the gate now, we have Cody Law aboard Yarrawa Escort. And they'll go out with a 22 points for camp only. Camp now, we have one of the youngest members of our Epic team here this weekend. This is Toby Bruce. He's aboard Scout, comes into this final round with a score of 172. A 4 for the course as he makes the change back around towards the gate. Unfortunately, the steer just gets a little bit lost on the way, but Toby will go out with a camp score of 20. Well, Martin in the camp now. He's aboard Drayton Sicario. They come in with a total score of 172 to this final round. Be followed by 20, Jonathan McDonald with Sunny Mia Vendetta, Please Stand By. Followed by 21, Hugh Miles with Elevate Ravon. 22, Mitchell Hoy, Conolina. 23, Jessica Wickham, Fedora. 24, Ben Thompson, Rodlaw Fantail. 25, Heidi Gillett with Fergalicious. And 26 will be Denny Farley with Spot the Duck. Out around the first peg and back towards the second, we are watching our 19th competitor. This is Campbell Martin, making it all look pretty easy as they complete the second peg. Make the change to come back around towards the gate. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for a smoke and run there from Campbell Martin and Drayton Sicario. $20 points for cutout, 63 for horsework, 4 for the course. Total round score of 87 and an overall of 259. Calling for the gate now, we have competitor 20, Jonathan McDonald aboard Sunny Mia Vendetta. They go out with a overall score of 168 and they chase the 265 points, which they will need to be up in the lead of this open draft final this afternoon. Make it all look pretty easy around the first peg and really tighten it up around the second. Oh, but there's a trick in the heifer there and says, nope, not tonight. Well, with a camp score of 22 points only. Our current leader, Hugh Miles, he's back on camp with Ella Ravon this time. They come in with an overall score of 172. Hard luck there for Hugh. Goes out with a camp score of 16 points only. Camp now, we turn our attention to Mitchell Hoy. He's aboard Conolina this time. They come in with a pretty healthy overall score of 175 points. And they'll be looking to chase down a 265 or better. To the camp down, calling for the gate. This is Mitchell Hoy with Conolina. Unfortunately, the pair go out with a camp score of 21 points only. Camp now we have Jessica Wickham aboard Fedora. The pair coming to this with a total score of 167. Jess goes out with a camp score of 21 points. On the camp now with Ben Thompson. He's aboard Rodlaw Fantail this time. They come into this with an overall total of 169 points. He'll be followed by 25, Heidi Gillett with Fergalicious. And our final competitor will be 26, Denny Farley with Spot the Duck. Pick and Ben, I reckon the last one did just the same thing. But anyway, great to have you here this weekend, mate. They go out with a camp score of 15. Reminder that at the completion of this open draft, we will require all of the winners and place getters from this afternoon's events, as well as those from last night's cutout shootout. We'll require you here for a presentation at the completion of this open draft final. But on camp now, we turn our attention to Heidi Gillett. She's aboard Fergalicious, and they come in with a pretty healthy score of 174. Hard luck there, Heidi. We'll move on with our final competitor, 26, Denny Farley with Spot the Duck. Looking to add to their overall score of 176. 265 points is what they chase. And on course now, watching our final competitor, Denny Farley, with Spot the Duck. Fortunately, that steer he spotted the gate and said, I'm out of here. They go out with a camp score of 20 points only to bring their aggregate up to 196. Thank you very much to our judge, Kelly Bond. Thank you. You've done a wonderful job this weekend. Thanks for coming down. Great to have you with us. So your winner is Hugh Miles aboard Wallinga Park Smooth Talker with a score of 265. So congratulations to Hugh. In second place with 263, Zeb Pearce and Super Tough Kitty. Third place, David Gillett with Icon, score of 261. In equal fourth, we have Campbell Martin with Drayton Sicario and Luke Bennett with Heathfield Tarn, both on 259. And in sixth place, we'll have Denny Farley with Drama Queen and 258. Going to eighth, so seventh place, we'll have James Moorhead with Style and Blues on a score of 254. And eighth will be Denny Farley with Coachman on 250. So they will be the 8 place getters that we will require for that presentation of the Open Camp Draft. We'll also require the highest scoring lady rider, which was Jess Wickham. So Jess will require you. And our highest cutout throughout the weekend in the Open was Denny Farley aboard Spot the Duck. We've had a phone found at the side of the camp yard there just towards the entry gate. So if someone's lost a phone, it's in the possession of Gary Went. It's Cody Laws. You'll probably find that phone at the bar on the floor somewhere later on too, Gary. Yeah, Prue.
Was that Hugh Miles, sorry?
Yes.
Yep. So once again, winners and place getters of this afternoon's events, as well as last night's cutout shootout. If we could please have you assemble out the back of the camp yard there, we'll call you out shortly. And we'll be beginning with the winner and place getters of the Infinity Incentive. So if you guys know who you are, if you can just be assembled there at the side of the camp yard. Once we get these cattle cleared out, we'll call you in. Right, well, we'll get underway with our presentations here this evening, starting off with the Infinity Incentive Campdraft for horses 6 and over. To those people, we will require a big congratulations. The winner of that Campdraft was Brett Meyer with Bulmer's Prince, a score of 165. Following Brett in second place, Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail. Third, Denny Farley with Chad. Fourth, Cody Kedsley with Bad Girl. 5, Luke Bennett with Brenwyn Walkstar. 6, Greg Clayton with Henry. In equal 6th and 7th there with Greg was Anna Hoy and SCH Smart Times. 8th was Campbell Martin with Mighty Mouse. So they are our 8 winners and place getters that we will require to make the presentation to. The cutout winner was Jacob Brown with Bacardi. So if we've got Jacob Brown or a stable representative there from the Somerville camp. Right, so just recapping those people we require are Brett Meyer, Ben Thompson, Denny Farley, Cody Kedsley, Luke Bennett, Greg Clayton, Anna Hoy and Campbell Martin, as well as Jacob Brown, our representative from the Somerville camp. If we could please have those people here for the presentation of the Infinity Incentive. Our winner and place getters this evening, we have Mr. Rick Swan representing the Owen family and Tulla Beef. A big thank you to them for their kind sponsorship here this weekend. But not only this weekend, the epic year in and year out, they're great supporters. Out in the main arena, we're watching the presentation of the Infinity Incentive Camp Draft. The winner of that draft, Mr. Brett Meyer, he receives a $10,000 cheque as well as the goods and chattels and everything that goes with it. Big congratulations to Brett and all the place getters. And a big thank you to the Owen family from Tullantalla Beef, Rick Swan and his team. A big thank you to you guys for your sponsorship of that draft. The completion of this presentation will be moving on with our Epic Alpha presentation. So those, the winner and place getters of the Epic Alpha. If we could please have you standing by beside the camp. So those people we will require shortly for the presentation of the Alpha Camp Draft are Lillian Meredith, Clayton Titmus and Tom Denson. They'll be the three people we require for that presentation at the completion of this presentation we're now doing for the Infinity Camp Draft. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are our winner and place getters of the Infinity Camp Draft. And a big thank you goes to our judge, James Moorhead. Big thank you for presiding over that draft. We're moving on now with the presentation of the Epic Alpha. So could we please call upon the winner of that draft with 88 points was Lillian Meredith and Roulette. In second place with 87 points, Clayton Titmus and Laruna Goodrum. And in third, Tom Dennison with 85 points aboard Hazelwood, My Conacre. Lillian's had a huge weekend here at the Epic. She was also the winner of the challenge over there earlier in the weekend. If we just get you to line up the other way around. So at the completion of this presentation, we'll move on with the presentation of our stallion draft. And those people we will require will be Ben Newbury, Hugh Miles, Sally Stevenson, and Zeb Pearce. You'll be the four people we will require for the presentation of the stallion draft at the completion of this presentation of the Alpha. Well done to our winner and place getters of the Epic Alpha Camp Draft. Now moving on to the presentation of our Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage Stallion Camp Draft. The people will require for that. The winner was Ben Newbury with Coolum Quartz on a score of 258. In second place, Hugh Miles with Araguani on a score of 253. In third, Sally Stevenson with Fancy Tassa, a score of 193. Now, cut-out winner was Zeb Pearce with Brother Tough Wood. So they'll be the four people we require for this presentation of the Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage Stallion Camp Draft. So making the presentations here, we have our sponsor, Luke Taylor of Taylor's Livestock and Heavy Haulage, and our judge, Mr. Rick Swan. Thank you very much to those guys for their contribution to the Stallion Draft throughout the weekend. Of this presentation for the gelding incentive camp draft that we watched at the at the completion of this presentation of the stallion draft, we'll move on to the presentation for the Benalla gelding incentive, and those people we will require for that will be Ben Thompson, Denny Farley. So actually it'll only be two, Ben Thompson with 2 horses and Denny Farley. So congratulations to our winner and place getters of the Stallion Camp Draft. We'll now move on to the presentation of the Benalla Gelding Incentive. Congratulations to the winner of that, Mr. Ben Thompson, with a score of 89 aboard Acres of Metal. In second place, Denny Farley with a score of 88 and Chad. And in third place, Ben Thompson with Rodlaw Fantail. Making the presentation of this draft is our sponsor, Sally Stevenson from Benalla Stud. Thank you very much to her and her husband. Thank you very much for that. Thanks very much, Drew and Sally, for your kind sponsorship of that gelding incentive once again this year. Just get a couple of photos and then we'll be moving on with the presentation of the open draft. So the winner and place getters, as well as the highest scoring lady rider and the highest scoring cutout, those people will require you to be ready to go on with the presentation of the open draft once we conclude this presentation of the gelding incentive. Congratulations to our winner and place getters of the Gelding Camp Draft. Moving on now with the presentation of the Open Camp Draft, the Greyzag Open Camp Draft. Wonderful sponsors year in, year out. This is the one that everyone wants to win. A big congratulations in first place, Hugh Miles with Willinga Park Smooth Talker on an overall score of 265. In second place, Seb Pearce with Super Tough Kitty on 263. Third, David Gillett with Icon, 261. Equal fourth and fifth, Campbell Martin with Drayton Sicario with 259. And Luke Bennett with Heathfield Tarn. In sixth place, Denny Farley with Drama Queen on a score of 258. Seventh, James Moorhead with Style and Blues, a score of 254. And eighth place, Denny Farley with Coachman on a score of 250. So they will be our winner and place getters. We'll also require Denny Farley. You were the winner of the cutout. And I believe Jess Wickham, I think you might have been the highest scoring lady rider. So if we could please have those couple, as well as our winner and place getters, to make this presentation. Just recapping for everyone. First place, we've got Hugh Miles. Second, Zeb Pearce. Third, David Gillett. Fourth, equal fourth and fifth, Campbell Martin and Luke Bennett. Sixth, Denny Farley. Seventh, James Moorhead. Eighth, Denny Farley. Our highest scoring lady rider, Jess Wickham. And our highest cutout over the weekend was Denny Farley as well. So we can have you people assemble like that. Congratulations to our winner and place getters of the Open Camp Draft. And a big thank you to our sponsors there, Greyzag and, of course, Furback Animal Health. A big thank you for your support year in and year out. Well, that completes the presentation of our open camp draft. The final presentation of the evening now will be the presentation of our cutout shootout, which was run last night. The people we will require for that will be Zeb Pearce, Hugh Miles and Carl Green. If we could please have those three competitors here for the presentation of the cutout shootout. Once again, Zeb Pearce, Hugh Miles and Carl Green will just require you for our final presentation of the cutout shootout. So, well, we've got Zeb, we've got Hugh, and we've got Jess stepping in for Carl. So I reckon we can make this presentation. Just a reminder to anyone who purchased a horse out of the sale today that those horses will be down in the stables. Just make sure that you remember those horses are your responsibility from the fall of the hammer. So it's up to you to make sure that they are fed and watered this evening. So we make sure that everyone can head down and make sure those sale lots have got some water overnight. Thank you.
Two. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. That does conclude the 2026 Epic Camp Draft and Sale. On behalf of our committee, it's a great pleasure to have this particular event here in Glen Innes, and we would like to sincerely thank the Glen Innes Show Trust for welcoming the Epic Camp Draft and Sale here at this particular showground, and your hospitality has been second to none. To all competitors, thank you very much for a great few days of camp drafting. Our cattle owners have been wonderful in such a trying time, and we look forward to doing it all again next year. There's the bar is open, our trade sites are available, and we look forward to catching up with you with a drink at the bar. Thank you.